Hello guys, welcome to the video. For today, I have prepared something that I personally think is really cool. But first, let's watch the demo so you can make your own opinion. What I've built is an instant connection between 6 different places that are spread across the world that we can all access instantly from one location. So let's say this over here would be our main base. Behind this portal, we have a color-coded selector panel to choose the base where we want to teleport. We are at X164 and Z8. To use it, we get into the portal and press a node block, and the system then automatically teleports us almost instantly. We are now at X203 and Z-1540. To go back, we just refill the stasis chamber and click this button. Shortly after, we appear back in our main base. We can then immediately teleport to any other base. Okay, now let's talk about how this works. I should first mention that I have already covered a lot of the concepts that will appear today in my previous video called The Fastest Way to Teleport in Minecraft. In this video, I built a device to teleport me instantly 1000 blocks, and it's all in one dimension, unlike today's video. If you are not familiar with concepts such as stasis chamber or the instant wire, then definitely check that out too. Now back to today's video. We start with the Overworld selector panel. When we click the node block, the rail triggers shortly, and that sends the minecart into the portal. On the nether side, we have to build a portal with the same size as the one in the overworld. When you are looking at the portals from front, you want them to be facing the opposite direction. So if the overworld portal is facing east, the portal in the nether needs to be facing west. These droppers need to be built on opposite sides like this. The minecart then activates the detector rail in the nether and bounces back into the overworld. There it returns to its position. The detector rails are then attached to these pistons with observers. When the piston triggers, it pushes the observer, which sends a quick pulse to the corresponding instant wire. The signal then travels to another portal that corresponds to our other base to which we want to teleport to. It reaches the portal instantly, which triggers a dropper that sends an item through the portal. In the overworld, the item is picked up by a hopper, which we can detect with a comparator. This then activates this piston with observer, and that triggers the trapdoor above the ender pearl. To go back, we press this button, which sends the item back to the nether, where it is again detected, and a signal is sent via the same wire back to our main portal. Now, because we are using the same wire to go back and forth, we have to add some signal filters. When an item comes back through the portal, we detect that with a comparator, and that triggers the instant wire. But because this signal would also trigger the dropper and send the item back through the portal, we need to briefly lock this repeater so it can trigger the dropper again. This allows us to use the same wire back and forth. The signal then travels back to the main portal where we collect all the instant wires together with these observers and some redstone dust on the white wool. That sends another item through the main portal and activates the stasis chamber in our main base. All the buttons in our main base are connected with this redstone line that triggers these droppers and sends an item to the nether where it is stored in the other dropper. All the signal coming from the main base is then also connected in the nether to these rails and redstone dust on the black wool blocks. We again extend this signal for a brief amount of time and lock a repeater on the white wool block, which prevents the dropper from activating. The instant wire requires us to chunk load it to keep it working. For that, we are using a nether portal based chunk loader. I'll put a link in the description how to build one. We first need to understand two key things about chunk loaders. The nether portal will load an area of 5x5 chunks around the chunk where it's built. In this 5x5 area, redstone components continue to work. The nether portal also loads a 3x3 area where entities are being processed. Let me explain. It means that to keep the wire working in the nether, we have to put a chunk loader in every fifth chunk along every instant wire to every location. But because we are also using droppers to spit items into the portals, all the droppers need to be built in the entity loading radius of the chunk loaders. If the dropper wasn't in an entity loaded chunk and only be in the 5x5 redstone processing area, it would trigger, but the item wouldn't pass through the portal because a dropped item counts as an entity. If we put multiple of these wires in the same chunks, we can load them with the same chunk loaders. And that is the end of today's video. I really hope you liked it. If you did, you can support my channel by leaving a like, comment, by subscribing or watching my other videos. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.